Hey everyone, welcome to Closet Tour, the series where I go into the most fashionable New Yorkers' closets and we share stories about clothes, fashion, and life.
Like they were made for me. This is a vintage Versace dress. Yeah, pieces call you. Like I swear, like it sounds like crazy. I'm obsessed with Grudge. It was like, don't you guys want to see some like real people who like wear their shit?
Today I am here with Sophie, otherwise known as Soco, on Instagram and TikTok. And honestly, I was thinking today on my walk over here that I am a literal vintage freak. And sometimes I'm like, is somebody going to match my freak? And if there's ever going to be somebody, it's Soco.
I love
So
that. I
I'm
love
so
that.
happy to have you.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that you let us come
Yes.
into your
Oh my
apartment.
gosh, I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
gonna
so
be
much
fun.
fun.
It's already been fun, but
Yes.
she's walked us through her whole closet. Um, and so the whole reason we've already been talking about this a little bit, but the whole
Mhm.
reason I wanted to do this series is because I feel women in New York have so much intention behind the clothes that hang in their
Mhm.
closet and the clothes they put on their body. And it really represents like how they want to feel that day, who they want to be. And I guess I'm just wondering where your love for fashion even started
Mhm.
and how has that journey evolved over
Yeah,
time?
totally. So my fashion is like very much rooted in my family history. Both of my parents are from New York. I grew up in Seattle. Long story for another time, but my grandma worked at a clothing store. My grandpa is like 90 years old and still works in retail.
Oh,
My
wow.
mom worked in fashion in New York before she moved to Seattle. So it's kind of always been ingrained in like our DNA, but literally like I think I was just like born with a love for it.
It's in your
It's just
genes.
like from the first day I could remember, I always loved like having crazy outfits, having fun outfits when I was a little girl. I mean, I have to shout out my mom for dressing me so cute. But we grew up in Seattle, but my mom would take my brother and I to New York every summer to like spend time with our extended family. My cousins all live here, my aunts and uncles, and a lot of my mom's close friends are all here. So we would spend the summers like house hopping from like New York City to the Hamptons to like Westchester, every part of New York possible. Like we were staying in a house. My mom has people. So those summers of coming to New York, I think are what really like lit my love for fashion on fire. Like I just
Yeah.
was always growing up in Seattle, which is like a great place, but it's not a fashion place at all. Um I just like when I came to New York, I like felt the most myself and I was like this is where I want to be one day. And even like my best friend who I live with, like I would come back from New York and do like a haul for her because I loved that I would like come back from these trips and like have outfits to wear to school that like nobody else in Seattle was going to have because you could
Right.
only get them in New York. So I think like these trips kind of like inspired, like I feel like I've always really enjoyed dressing out of the box. And it's really become a way that, you know, it's so much deeper than just like aesthetics and like looking good and having a good outfit. It's all about like expressing yourself with the world. Like I think fashion is really one of the best ways that you can like share yourself with the world. And we were talking about it earlier, but like connecting with people, like when I walk outside and I'm wearing like a really fun like personal outfit, like it sparks
Connection.
curiosity and connection. But yeah, it's really kind of always been ingrained in me, but I think as I grew up, I didn't know that I wanted to have a career in fashion until I like started my Instagram when I was in high school. And then I was like, wait, maybe this is more than just a hobby. Maybe like I'm actually good at this and like people want my tips and tricks. So it's been like just really a huge part of my life forever.
You are a very successful fashion influencer, content creator, and I do feel that's one of the most difficult niches to
Oh,
be
yeah.
successful in. What are your tips around girls who maybe want to get into the space, want to be a fashion
Yeah.
influencer, fashion content creator? Where do you start? How do you think about it? I don't know, like
Yeah.
any
Well,
tips?
I'm honored that you're saying that because it can feel very hard to be in this like fashion influencer space. It's definitely very competitive.
Right.
And now that I've been doing it for a while, it's like it's not the easiest to like get on the radar of all these like designer brands and like, you know, that's where I'm working towards, but you
Girl,
know,
me too. They don't know about me
yeah,
yet.
no, they don't maybe some of them, but like I'm like, girl, like I'm repping your brands all the time. Like I'm repping the designer brands. Maybe it's vintage, but anyways, it is like a difficult space, but I think what's really helped me and I think is why I have so much trust in my path going forward, is just staying authentic to yourself, staying true
Mhm.
to yourself and leaning into what makes you you. Like I think authenticity, you can just like feel that from
Yeah.
behind a screen. Like I think I always get that. People are like, you're so real. And like even like I made the switch from working corporate fashion to doing influencing full time, and I really haven't changed like the way I go about content. I go about it in a very real, authentic way. I've never been interested in like influencers who like wake up in the morning and like put on an outfit, take pictures, and then like that's what they wore the outfit for. Like I
Right.
when I first moved here and got into the content space, nothing against this. Like girls would be like, "Do you want to wake up and take pictures?" I'm like, "I want to see what people are wearing for their real lives."
Yeah.
Like I everything you see me post, some brand deals and obviously sometimes I'm putting on an outfit to get a picture, but for the most part, I'm really showcasing like how fashion weaves into my day-to-day life. And I think people love that realness and authenticity. And I think also don't be afraid to like be unique and be different, because that is what's going to last. I think a lot of times in the fashion space, people are wanting to hop onto these trends or recreating videos or like trying out this, trying out that. And trends are so fun. Like I'm not anti-trend. I think I try out a ton of trends. It's like I think one of my friends who's a creator, I think Pig Mommy may have said this, Heather.
Mhm.
She was like, fashion trends are like, it's like a sushi buffet. Like you pick what you want and you try it. Like.
I remember when she said that, and I
Yeah. And I
really
was like,
liked
that's
that.
totally me. Cause like, it's okay. Like, I definitely like, obviously I'm trendy, like whatever. But I think to me, what I am interested in and what I think is going to last for a long time online is the personality and having something personal to your style. And yeah, but I think also just in terms of tips for like creating, being super consistent, don't pay attention to the noise of what everyone else is doing. Just keep spitfiring out. Like nothing is going to be perfect. People are always like, oh, I have this idea, but I don't know. I'm like, just post it.
Mhm.
You never know with social media, like what's going to blow up, what's going to hit. So I think like just getting comfortable, like being behind a camera, posting, figuring out what video formats work for you, but also like keeping it fresh, keeping it fun. But yeah, I really do think like staying true to yourself, and then, and that'll lead you to the right people too. And I think networking is a big part of this whole world too. So like,
Right.
you know, finding the right people and friends and connections.
I really like a lot of what you said. I think what I resonated with, or what I feel from you right away, is that you are just being yourself. It's literally you walking on the street. You're not going to take specific photos. And I think I struggled with that as well, because I was like, I'm not a girl that's just, I'm not a picture girl, really.
Yeah.
I'm like a talker, and I'm kind of like, I want to give people like advice and backstory and stuff like that. And I think I, until recently, really struggled with like looking at what other people were doing and trying to emulate it. But I found recently, I'm like, you know what? If I just act who I am, that seems to be what works the best. Like, not chasing the different trends or like, oh, that looks like that works, so let me try it out. It's like, what am I interested in? I'm interested
Yeah.
in interviewing you in your closet. Okay, I'm gonna go do it then, because
Yeah.
it's like that feels real to me. And that's the type of thing that I like to do anyways. I like to talk. I like to
Yeah.
like know people better. And so I think that's a really good tip, like just really being authentic. But I think it also takes a lot of confidence to be
Yeah.
authentic online and feel, okay, I'm putting myself out
Yeah.
there. It is the
It's
me, and I might get judged for the real me.
totally.
So, how do you think about confidence in terms of dressing, in terms of
Yeah.
content, in terms of life, like anything, making
Oh,
friends?
yeah. Oh, it's like what makes you confident. Shout out. I love the confidence guy. He's a friend of mine.
Oh, yeah,
But
that guy that's like,
I
love
love
it.
him. Shout out David.
You should be on it.
I, he won't. We've become friends because I made a video being like, I see the confidence guy every day, and he never interviewed me, and then he saw it, and now we're like I see him every day. He's insane. Anyways,
That's funny.
I think confidence. First of all, I have to say this industry, like, it is not for the weak. Like, I think online, like everyone, it just looks really glamorous, and like all of us are just like living these dream lives, which we are. I'm so grateful. Like, I can't believe what I get to do every day, and like my life
Totally.
is so fun, and I'm so grateful for it. But I think in order to be successful in this industry, you do have to have a strong head, because it fucks with your head.
It
My
does.
whole job is me and like me looking good. me being relevant, me like having a good outfit. And I think that's why I'm so grateful that my page does have, I'm so grateful that I have this like realness to it, because I think on one hand, like this industry can feel really intense with like beauty standards, is something like I've been
Totally.
noticing recently. And feel like I, I feel like I have to credit my parents for the way they raised me. I think that is really where the root of confidence comes from. And my parents have just always really raised me to just like be who I am and own it. And, my parents have really taught me the values of like kindness and being there for other people. And I think being a kind person and caring about other people makes you more confident,
I
because
agree.
like I have never been someone who's like jealous or like compares myself to people, because I have an appreciation for people and their differences. And I think that's like a value that was very much instilled in me from a young age. And I've always just like appreciated, like my parents have so many different like types of friends and from all different backgrounds. And I feel like those experiences of growing up around a lot of different types of people have weirdly made me very confident, because I'm like, everyone is different and that's freaking cool. And I think
Yeah.
I really realize I'm like, there is one, each of us, like there's only one of us, and like that's so cool. Like I always want to lean into that. I'm like, that is the greatest gift we have. And I always get like the compliment of like that I am 100% myself, which I think
I
it's
think that's a
taken,
beautiful
it's a
compliment.
beautiful compliment. It's like the best compliment. But I think it's taken like, years and years of just like continuing to like lean into the things I love, and just, and I think there are certain practices. I think I can get really hard on myself being in this industry, because you're constantly seeing what all the other girls are doing, what people are getting invited to, what brands are sending them gifting. And it sounds so stupid, but it can really like mess with your head. And I think
And I think it's not so much like, oh, I want to get invited to that particular event. It's
it's
more
like,
just like I know how hard I'm working
yeah,
and I
and it's
want
like
to
sometimes
be
that
recognized for it.
recognition,
Yeah.
like, feels, like I feel like there's a lot of like, especially with the bigger designer brands, there's a lot of things I see. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm not there yet. Which, but I think you have to keep, I think coming back to gratitude, like I try and like do some sort of like write down 3 things I'm grateful for every day. Like I think coming back to gratitude, and also just like hyping yourself up and being like, I'm doing great. I am exactly where I need to be. Like this is, but it's hard. And I think I think it's about surrounding yourself with the right friends.
Mhm.
I feel like I've shed a lot of friends in my 20s. I think being someone who's very like posting your whole life and very like over the top, I think that sometimes like makes people uncomfortable. I think I've been around a lot of girls who maybe I didn't realize it was jealousy, but those friends who like maybe aren't complimenting you as much, or maybe are judging you for like posting online. And I feel like I've shed a lot of those people, and now I have like the most supportive friends by my side. And I think, you know, getting rid of those like jealous, like you do not, if somebody is like not hyping you up to the max, like no, we don't need that energy.
I always say this. I feel like if being yourself is the fastest way to surround yourself with the right people, but that is going to turn away people. So
Yeah,
I
it
think people
will.
start to be like, oh, wait, I need to go back in my shell because it's turning away people. It's like,
Yeah.
no, 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 you're
A- And I
attracting the
think
right
if
people.
you, yeah, and if you are just like yourself, completely yourself, that's what I really learned when I moved to New York. Cause I mean, in college and high school, I was definitely myself, but like you're surrounded by a lot of like social norms and stuff at that time of your life.
I always say moving here, like I used to be like, I think every time I've moved, but like moving here makes you realize you're not in the box that you were put in when you were in high school
Yeah.
or
And
whatever
you
it
can,
is, and you can be who you want to
be
be.
who you want to be. And like I think when you are really yourself, like I think my whole New York journey, I was like I've been waiting my whole life to be here. I am just going to be me to the fullest. And I've definitely shed so many things and people along the way, but I've found like the most, when you're yourself, you, everything comes to you. And that's, I think you just have to keep reminding yourself of that. But yeah, it's a crazy industry. And it's like there's a lot of fake girls, there's a lot of fakeness. It's a very weird dynamic, having to like go to these events and like chat with everyone. And sometimes they're really draining. Like
Yeah. I
uh
mean, it's kind of a work event, really, at the end of
it's
the
a work
day.
event.
So
Yeah. Um and yeah, and I think just like owning who you are in every sense, like on the inside and outside. Like I feel like now too there's all these trends of like treatments and the makeup and the hair and the this, and like lately, like that's one of these things where I'm like, I am not always gonna have my hair done. I am not always gonna have perfect makeup. Like
No.
I'm always gonna have a ratty hair tie in my hair. Like I'm not, it's just, it's
I
too much to keep up with. And I think we need to like I always say, I always go on TikTok live and I'm getting ready, and like I'm talking to my people. I'm like, they're like, slick back your, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm like, I'm gonna do messy hair. And like there are certain things that it's just like unrealistic. Like I don't think anyone wants to see that anymore. Like these
no.
picture perfect, like aesthetic, like
No one's like because no one's actually doing that in real
no
life.
one's doing that.
And
And it's not, to me, it's like not interesting or like attainable in any sense.
I agree. And it is hard when you're like, oh, everyone seems to be getting really skinny lately. And like, maybe I should be doing that and like,
Yeah.
whatever. But I also think like, as you get older, you're just like, I don't I don't care if people see me without makeup. If I'm going to be a real creator, you're going to see me without makeup
Yeah.
sometimes because that is my real life. Like some days I'm
Yeah.
wearing makeup and some days I'm not.
Totally.
It just
Yeah.
depends on who I am that day. Like some days
Yeah,
I'm like
exactly.
sitting at my computer in my sweats and that's
Yeah.
just
And
life.
like I made a
Like,
TikTok the other day. I'm like, my favorite thing in the world is like I walk outside in like my seniest neighborhood of Soho like every day at some point in pajamas, like no
yeah,
bra, no under. I'm like, I don't, that's the beauty of New York. Like that is New York, is
because
like
it's your house. New York is my
no one, and
house.
no one gives a fuck
Yeah.
here. So it's like no one's also like nobody's thinking about you that deep. Like
Yeah,
nobody cares that much. Everyone's worried about themselves. So like you're doing yourself a disservice by not just like living your best life.
I totally agree. So, in terms of your personal style, I feel like you have one of the best personal styles. I said when I came here, I felt like looking at your closet, you can tell it's almost like a branded experience where it's like
I
this
love
is
that.
Soco and like this is like who you are and like what you like to wear and you can tell you have such an eye. When it comes to personal style, what are general rules that you personally live by?
Mhm.
And then how do you think, or do you have rules? And then how do you think people can apply that as they're trying to understand their
Yeah.
personal style?
Now that everyone's talking about personal style on the internet, there's this whole like thing about like finding your personal style. And
Hmm.
this, in the past year, I'm like, I think we need to like nix that whole like ammo of like finding your personal style, because your personal style is not something you ever find. It
Yeah,
evolves as your life evolves. And I think that your personal style is so related to your life experiences and your real life.
totally
It's
agree.
like what we've been saying about all of these pieces. It's like it's not just about the piece, it's about the story behind them and the story behind buying them. So I think it's like as you evolve, your style's going to evolve, and like that's the beauty of it. And you don't need to put, like, I think a lot of people put all this pressure on themselves, like, oh, I need to find my thing, like, or they'll be like to me, oh, I could never wear that. And I'm like, yes, you can, but also like I think
And you don't
my
have to if you
yeah,
don't want, like,
my
you know.
biggest rule is just like lean into the things that you love, because I've tried everything, especially like moving to New York and the whole TikTok area. Like there were so many micro trends, but like pay attention to when you get dressed, what is calling your name. Pay attention to the way when you're out in the world, what kind of outfits make you feel good, what pieces make you feel good. Like what are you drawn to when you're in a store? And I think I just like fully lean into that. Like that is the only factor I'm thinking about when I'm shopping. I'm like, how does this make me feel? Like, do I love this? Is this like my vibe? You know? And I think as you start to just like listen to those gut feelings, it's very much like life and making life decisions. Like just listening to your gut of what you like. I think take some time to do that. Like give yourself, and it takes like years. Like I feel like
Mhm.
I'm at a place now, I'm 20, I just turned 27, where I feel like so set in my personal style, but I think in my early 20s I definitely was not as like evolved in it. But I think pay attention to what you like, keep practicing that, and then you're going to start to see, like I feel like it wasn't until recently where I'm like, okay, these are the brands I really love. Like all these brands I mentioned, like I love Pucci, I love Missoni, I love my vintage Dolce. Like pay attention to those brands. Then you can look for those brands when you're vintage shopping. Pay attention to the silhouettes. Like I love my statement tops. I love, like, you know, I love an unintentional set, like the crop top and the skirt. Like I love mixing patterns. I love, you know, and I think there's no specific rule. I think it's just what you like. And I think when it comes to putting together an outfit, it's the same thing for me. It's like when I am getting dressed, I have such a process where it just like I know the outfit is right when it clicks for me. There's like
Mhm.
this internal like ding that goes off when it's like I add all my stacks, I add all my this, and I'm like, yep, this is hitting. But like on the outside, you never know if people are going to like it. Everyone has
Yeah.
their own opinions. Like you could put on an outfit and it's like people are like, I don't get that. But for me, it's like when it clicks for me, like I have to feel it's like when I'm getting dressed, there's almost like this meter and then it hits and I'm like, okay, this feels right for me.
I
And
like
it
that.
takes a lot of practice. I know that's not like the best tip, but I think pay more attention to yourself and your life versus Pinterest and Instagram and what's happening and and pay attention to the world around you. Like I get so much inspo. Most of my inspo comes from like somebody I see on the street.
It's interesting.
Like
I was having this conversation with someone else in their closet, and we were talking about how people have kind of stopped losing this connection to like the creative source, I guess. And like, it's like because we're all looking at our phones, looking at other people's
yeah.
ideas. And I think what you're saying makes me realize that you're still very much connected to your intuition.
Yeah.
And I think and to me, it feels that could be something that we're losing. So,
Yeah.
what do you do to keep that intuition? Is it just a daily practice of doing it?
I think it's like years and years of practice and I think I've seen the effects of it because I'm like I know I'm like I love my style and I think not to toot my own horn I have one of the better styles of some of these like New York
You definitely
influencers
do.
like because it's real and because it's whatever and so I'm like I know that my best ideas are going to come like I just it's like a ripple it's like addicting. I'm like my best outfits and fits are going to come from like my intuition and paying attention to the world around me and it's hard because I have to part of my job is being on social media and I'm scrolling all the time but I don't really get inspo from like Instagrammers or like people's, maybe sometimes I'll see something, but I think like pay attention to the world around you. Like when you're walking in New York, like look up, like we're always on our phones, like look up, like look at what the people are wearing at the coffee shop, look at what's like being merchandised in the stores, like look
Mhm.
at the runway shows are great inspo too. Like even the Met Gala, I'm like, ooh, like I'm like, I think I want to wear a suit tonight
Yeah,
to the,
right.
but like, I think you can take inspiration from so many places, but I think the people who have the best style, it feels really true to them, and you're only going to get that inspiration like from yourself in your own life.
Yeah, I totally agree. One kind of last question. You obviously, actually, I don't know if people know this, but my whole list, my vintage list, because shopping in New York is like
Yeah.
my whole thing, but like your list inspired my list.
Oh,
So you're
really?
kind of like the reason that their list exists.
Oh, I'm so
But
happy.
yeah,
I'm honored.
I was like, wait, I need to make my own
Yeah.
list too. But what is your favorite store to shop online in Paris, in New York? Like, give me all
Yeah.
the tips.
Okay, my favorite places to shop. I'm obsessed with the Real Real and Vestiaire. I used to not be as much obsessed with them because my mom I was very lucky that my mom used to own this store because I half of my closet is from that store. So that
Right.
was like it's called The Refined. It's in Seattle. You should
If
definitely
I
check
ever
them
go,
out.
I'm gonna go.
Um it's still around. But Bobby in Paris also half of my closet is from Bobby. Every time I go there, guaranteed like it is the best store. But I also am someone who likes to dig.
This is how I knew we would be friends
Yeah.
because I literally have heard you say you like
Yeah.
Bobby and I like Bobby, and I knew. I was
Yeah,
like,
no, it's just,
we're
but
the
also
same.
like I like to dig. Like I think the vintage shopping in New York has gotten awful, honestly, because
It's too curated.
it's too curated. It's so expensive. Like all of these things, like these would have cost like $600 in New York. They were like $200 in Paris. Like all the vintage stores are very overpriced. I will say some ones that I love. I love Crossroads. Like I love Crossroads. They still have
I
the
love
best stuff,
Crossroads.
and I like a place where you can dig through some racks.
I was in LA last weekend going to a wedding. I didn't have a like little jacket and I went to Crossroads. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna get a sweater from
Oh
here.
yeah, totally.
It was
I love
great.
Crossroads. I love Second Street. I love No Standing. NYC is around the corner. I
I love
borrow.
Little Standing.
They honestly like their store now is like very big, so they have like a wide selection, and I think
I went
it's
in their store recently and I didn't know it got that big because I had
yeah.
only seen the other
So
one,
I
but
like it a lot better now because there's more to like work through, and they let me. I love them. They're like I see them. They're like my neighbors, so I'm always like hyping them up. I love them, but they always let me borrow stuff too, which is fun.
that's fun.
I love I love Seven Wonders Collective. I do
I love
think
Seven
it's
Wonders too.
very overpriced, but I do think they have really amazing pieces. There's a lot of great places in Brooklyn. I don't go to I used to like go to vintage shopping in Brooklyn every weekend, but what else is good in New York? I'm not loving like anything right now. I
Yeah.
love like the Ludlow flea, I love the Chelsea flea, I love the Dumbo flea, I love
I
street
went in
rag.
L Train yesterday and I was like, wait, I need to go back to L Train.
Yeah.
I almost feel I need to start from the
Yeah,
beginning
I feel
again.
like I need to like
I'm going
I
back to my
feel like I
roots.
save a lot of my vintage shopping now for when I go to Paris because it's just like the stuff I'm getting is like such a better price. But yeah, I feel like oh, I love Tokyo 7.
Me too.
That is Tokyo 7. Okay, so East Village has like a great circuit, Tokyo 7, and then
I
the
feel East
Crossroads,
Village
East
gets slept
Village.
on
Yeah.
because
And
everyone's
then
like,
there's
go to
this store like
Brooklyn.
Revamped, which is also really cute. It's like a smaller store.
I've never been.
Um, but yeah. And I love going to like all the vintage fairs for like inspo, but I'm really like not finding most of my vintage pieces in New York anymore.
All right, go to Paris,
Go to
which is
Paris.
why she's moving to
Yeah, come
Paris.
visit me and
I'm
yeah.
gonna come visit,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yes,
And then we'll
please.
do a little tour
Yes,
or
yes,
something.
yes.
But okay, well, this was amazing. Any last tip, trick, anything that you want to share?
Um I think just like overall, just like have fun. Have fun getting dressed. Have fun wearing your outfits. I think what gives the outfits personality is the life behind them and the memories behind them. So, go get
Let
an
it
extra drink
flow.
after dinner, go hit the town, go enjoy your night in your fabulous outfit, and just have fun getting dressed and just do you because that is the best thing you can do. But
I
yeah.
love that. Thank you. Thanks for having us in your
Yay, of
house.
course.